This video is going to cover page 147, which is lesson 3.1, which is all about multiplying by tens. We're going to do the first row of problems here together using some of the strategies we learned in the last chapter. So for number 2, if we look at 10 times 12, this is the first time we're seeing a 2 by 2 digit multiplication problem. But we can break it down when we're multiplying by 10 so that we're looking at a basic fact or a 2 by 1 digit multiplication problem and then adding the zeros, just like we did in chapter 2. So for this one, I'm seeing that I have 12, which I can't break up, but I have 10, so I can do 12 times 1, which I know is 12, and then I can add my 0. So as simple as that, just like the last chapter. And if you were to count by 10, 12 times, you would get to 120. Now in number 3, it looks a little bit different, but I have 2 and 2, so that would be my basic fact. So 2 times 2 is 4. And then now I have 2 zeros to add, so my answer would be 400. So a little bit different because we have a 0 on both factors here, but the same idea where we're adding the zeros in at the end. So for this one, we have 24 times 4. Now that's probably not a basic fact for you, so we're going to solve that using the 2 by 1 digit strategy that we were using in chapter 2. So if I do 24 times 4, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 2 is 8, plus my 1 is 9, so 24 times 4 equals 96, and then I have 1 0 to add, so my product would be 960. And finally, I have 11 times 6, which I do know as a basic fact, is 66, and 1 0, so my product would be 660. I'm going to do one more down here just for a little more practice with the 2 by 1 digit strategy. So if I take my 55 times 7, I'm going to have to multiply that. So 55 times 7, 7 times 5 is 35, and 7 times 5 again is 35, but I need to add my 3. So that would be 38, so that equals 385. But then I need to remember to go back and add my 0 at the end, so my total product would be 3,850. Now we're going to take a look at question number 13 on page 147. So if we look at this, it says Caroline packs 12 jars of jam in a box. She has 40 boxes. She has 542 jars of jam. How many jars of jam will she have left when all the boxes are full? So I know I'm going to have some leftovers. So my goal is to find those leftover jars that I can't fit in boxes. So first I need to find how many jars can I fit in the boxes. So if I have 12 jars that can go in 40 boxes, my first step is to do 12 times 40. So first I see that 12 times 4 is a basic fact, which is 48, and then need to add my 0. So I can fit 480 jars of jam in the 40 boxes that I have, but I have 542 jars, which means I'm going to have some leftovers. So to find my leftovers, I'm going to use subtraction. So if I have 542 jars total, but I can only pack 480 jars in the boxes, I need to subtract. So 2 minus 0 is 2. I can't do 4 minus 8, so I'm going to have to borrow. So now I have 14 minus 8, which is 6, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So that means after I'm done packing my boxes, my 40 boxes, then I'm going to have 62 jars of jam left over. The last question we're going to do on page 147 is number 14. It says Allison is preparing for a math contest. Each day, she works on multiplication problems for 20 minutes and division problems for 10 minutes. How many minutes does Allison practice multiplication and division problems in 15 days? So first, I want to know how much time is she spending practicing her multiplication and division problems in one day. So I'm going to add my 20 minutes plus 10 minutes. So 20 plus 10 is 30. So she's practicing her multiplication and division facts for 30 minutes a day. But now she's practicing for 15 days, so I want to know how much time she's practicing over those 15 days. So I'm going to do 30 times 15. I can do 3 times 15 to pull out an easier problem, and if you didn't know what that was, you could do 15 times 3. So 3 times 5 is 15, and 3 times 1 is 3, but plus my 1 is 45. Then I need to add my 0, which would be 450. So she is practicing for 450 minutes over the course of 15 days.